Hello guys, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Before we begin, let me introduce myself briefly. My name is Muhammad Fadli Sahda and I'm from Environmental Engineering student of Indonesian Islamic University. And I want to introduce my member of Group 7. There are myself and Muhammad Endardi, Muhammad Salil Rifai, Zulfar Nadif Pratama, and last but not least, Bayu Dwi Jayanto. Next. So, in here, I'd like to talk to you today about climate change and why we're all responsible. So, without further ado, let's start a presentation. The topic is climate change. The environmental damage caused is climate change. The climatic condition of a region has an important role in various sectors of community life, such as agriculture, architecture, and others. Climate change can affect the social and environmental determinant of health, such as clean air, safe drinking water, adequate food, and safe shelters. Next slide, play. First suburb is located. The located is from West Kalimantan Province. And West Kalimantan Province, located in the western of the Kalimantan Island, or between the lines 2 degrees 08 north latitude and 3 degrees 02 south latitude, and between 108 degrees 30 until 114 degree 10 east longitude on the Earth map. Based on the specific geographical location, the area of West Kalimantan is traversed by the equator, latitude 0 degree, right above Pontianak City. Next slide. The background of climate change. Forests are natural resources that are closely related to humans. Therefore, we are obligated to protect and preserve them. Forests have an important role for human life. Humans need products produced from forests. Forests provide protection, shade, and product needed by humans for their survival. Forests are also as a place for wild animals to live and source germ palms, all of which are also useful for the continuity for human life. Plants, and don't forget plants and animals too. Humans obtain products such as food, medicine, wood for the building, and firewood, and but at least also enjoy the benefit of the effect of forests, all of which are also useful for the continuity of human life. Humans obtain products such as food, medicine, wood, firewood, and also enjoy the benefit of the effect of the forest, namely the microclimate, and prevent erosion and maintain soil fertility, collect water, provide fresh air, and various other benefits. Okay, that's all from me. Next to Muhammad Chalil Rifai. Thank you.
Types of environmental damage. The environmental damage caused is climate change. Climate change is the result of global warming, which has a negative impact on people's life activities. Climate change caused the start of the rainy season to decline while the end of the rainy season will be faster, which means that the length of the rainy season will be shorter on other. The height of the rainy season will enter increase while the height of the dry season will tend to decrease. The environmental damage caused is the climate change caused the result of global warming. Global warming has a negative impact on people with activities. Cause of environmental damage. Exploitation of natural resources in the oceans and land that exceed their carrying capacity in a sustainable manner is the cause of environmental damage. In addition, the decline in environmental quality is also caused by various human actions, such as industrial activities, power plants, motorized vehicles, and others that use fossil fuel. In this case, there are oil palm plantation entrepreneurs who prefer method land clearing by burning than other method. The upside of adequate technology makes the method of clearing land by burning considered efficient. Economic factors are the background why this method commonly used in West Kalimantan. The exploitation of natural resources in the ocean and land exceeds the carrying capacity in a sustainable manner. Environmental loss. The direct impact crashing of this one, the emergence of acute respiration infection for community. Two, reduce work efficiency because when large-scale forest fire occur, school and office are closed. 3. Because forest fire cause animals to lose their habitat. 4. The emergence of the international problem of West Kalimantan forest fire has any cause immaterial loss in neighboring countries such as Malaysia and Singapore. The direct impact rising one, the acute respiration infection, community, to reduce work efficiency because when large-scale forest fire occur. 3. Fire occurs animal to lose their habit. 4. The emergence of the international problem. Characteristic of a damaged environment. The definition of character in general based on the use as a term and the use every day is one of the attributes or characteristics that make an object can be distinguished as something that is individual in nature understanding, that is able to show the existence of a special quality, as differentiator, the climatic condition of region is an important role in the various sections of community lives such as agriculture, architecture, and other. Based on the Based on this rule, climate change will have an impact people live. As a result of the impact of climate change, an assessment is needed to determine the characteristic the climate that has occurred in the West Kalimantan region. One way to determine the characteristic of the climate is by studying time series from climate element data use varies over a long period of time. This character can be used to provide a description of the description of both physical and non-physical. The physical and non-physical depending on the content of the object with the emphasis of the properties. Specific and specific feature of object which make the object easily controllable, one of the faults that set the character of residual environment, the natural conditions that surround it. One of the area experiencing climate change is West Kalimantan. The result of research by Anggreni and Trisakti showed that there has been increase in one of the climate elements, namely rainfall with Kalimantan during. In addition, the research of Lewati detected climate anomaly created by a shift and the path of rain, change in rainfall, and increase in average temperature. As a result of the impact of climate change and the assessment the determinant of characteristic of climate, there has occurred in the Kalimantan region. One way to determine the characteristic of the climate is the studying time series data from element of the climate.
Okay, next, to impact of environmental damage. Forest fires have a large impact on biodiversity. Forests that are heavily burned will be difficult to restore because the soil structure is damaged. The loss of vegetation causes open land, so it is easily eroded and it can no longer withstand flooding. Natural forests may take hundreds of years to develop into complex systems containing many species that are interdependent. Tropical rainforest trees take years to harvest and cannot be replaced quickly. Likewise, the complex community is also not easily replaced if it is damaged. Climate change. Impact of anthropological activities. Impact on the ecosystem. Number one, this anthropogenic behavior has caused massive ecological damage, where deforestation has occurred and the cover of production forests and protected forests is reduced in the ecosystem. Number two, the destruction of animal habitat, where the forest ecosystem is a natural habitat corridor for a number of protected wildlife, such as Sumatran elephants, Sumatran tigers, sun bears, hedgehogs, pangolins, forest goats, including other biodiversity. Number three, the shrinking of flora and fauna habitat, the escalation of human-wildlife conflict. Next, health impact. The impact of climate change on health. Number one, heart and respiratory disease, especially in elderly people due to the increase in extreme hot weather in West Kalimantan and also the result of burning land resulting in a thick smoke. Number two, the increased incidence of flooding results in contamination of clean water supplies, increases the risk of waterborne disease, and provides a place for animals such as mosquitoes to breed. In addition, it increases the risk of drowning and injury caused by the equatorial rain pattern in the Pontianak city. Number three, climatic conditions greatly affect transmitted disease such as waterborne infections and disease transmitted by insects, snails, or other animals. The incidence of malaria and dengue fever has also increased in the greater river area, Pontianak. Number four, experiencing extreme weather change can cause stress and other mental health problems, especially when someone has lost a loved one due to natural disaster. Next, the efforts to overcome environmental problems. For the government, land fires wherever they are located should be a concern because they will cause disruption to the economy, health, and relations between countries. One of the efforts carried out to tackle land fires around Kuburaya in Pontianak is by mobilizing land fire prevention by involving the active participation of the community around the area through the formation of fire care groups. And don't forget the active role of the community in outreaching socialization through residents around fog and place where extreme climate change is occurring. Okay.
The next, we will talk about the concept of the local culture and environment. Community condition and local environment culture and its relation to the damage. The damage from the burning farmer and start agriculture and the burning forest is have a relation to the community condition and the local environment culture. For a traditional farmer, burning land when it's starting agriculture is to increase of the fertility of the pit soil, thereby reducing the use of fertilizer with the high economic value. There is another way then when you start agriculture is in reducing the fertility when you start agriculture, but there is a cost of a high money and the local farmer has don't have any much money and then they just burn and don't look around the forest. However, peat swamp forests that are generally found in West Kalimantan. The peat swamp is not generally found in West Kalimantan, it's maybe around the Kalimantan because this Kalimantan have a lot of the forest. Where's the role regarding land burning for English people or traditional farmer have their own rule or there are regulations that protect the local wisdom practice of clearing field with the controlled burning method. In the first paragraph, they'll talk about reducing the fertility by burning, but in the Kalimantan, the local farmer and the people have a role and protect the local wisdom by burning them, but it's controlling the burn method for not make a big of fire and burn the forest. Next, give the support picture. This is the map of the West Kalimantan. In the first picture, we'll see maybe the farm will be start agriculture, but the fire is burned out the forest around the agriculture farming. The effect of the burn in this picture. Look, there's no one left. This burn out and there is no one left in this forest, and look, the environmental around the forest is damaged. The effect of the burn is make a cloud or a smoke from the burning and then moved by the wind. The cloud and smoke is moved to the city. In this picture, the cloud or the smoke in the city is very annoying people who live in the city. Example, me as the people who live in the city is very annoyed by stranger smoke or maybe stranger a cloud that's come into my house and annoying my activity home, and my mom and my dad gets very angry because the home activity is annoying too. Yeah, this is my experience about the cloud and smoke to come to my house. The smoke from the burning forest is make the environment in the West Kalimantan is not stable again. As we can conclude, the burning, when the farmers start the burning of the forest in make the environmental forest around the start agriculture is burned out, and the burns out make a cloud and moved by the wind and annoy the people who live in the city, and then make the environment in the forest is not stable. Next, we'll talk about the analysis environmental carrying capacity and the whole capacity. The Ministry of the Environment and Forestry, or KSLHK, through P3E Kalimantan, has identified the carrying capacity and the whole capacity of Indonesian environment as measured by the Kalimantan ecoregion supporting capacity map service approach in the ecosystem service approach. In over the net, with the approach and assessment above, the Kalimantan ecoregion carrying a capacity map at the product of P3E Kalimantan was created by inputting the land shape of maps, or commonly referred or called to the as the region ecoregion map. And the land cover map, the rest of this book is an overview of the result of the analysis of carrying capacity map for each province in the Kalimantan ecoregion.
The potential conflict, environmental and social. The potential for environmental and social conflict that will occur is the existence of disputes between indigenous people from West Kalimantan and investor. Investor are burning land so that the work is done quickly. The social impact experience is a worsening economic problem as a result of investors leaving the land area. The conclusion, based on the specific geographical location, the area of West Kalimantan is traversed by the equator, just above Pontianak City. Forests are natural resources that are very closely related to humans. Therefore, we are obligated to protect and preserve them. Forests have an important role for human life. Human need produced from forests. The environmental damage caused is climate change. The climatic condition of a region has an important role in various sectors of community life, such as agriculture, architecture, and others. Climate change can affect the social and environmental determinants of health, such as clean air, safe drinking water, adequate food, and safe shelters. In addition, it increases the risk of drowning and injury caused by the equatorial rain pattern in the Pontianak City. Climatic conditions greatly affect transmission diseases such as waterborne infection and diseases transmission by insect, snail, other both. Apportionment of task. Bayudi Jayanto. Subbab characteristic of damage environmental. Subbab type of environmental damage. Next, Zufar Nadif Pratama. Subbab location name. Subbab impact of anthropology on anthropological activities. Edit the videos. Next, Muhammad Cholil Rifai. Subbab background. Subbab impact of environmental damage. Number 6 and 7. First translator in this study case. Finding study case. Finding some journal of the anthropogenic case. Next, Muhammad Hendardi. Subbab environmental losses. Subbab cause of environmental damage. Number 3, make a report Word to PDF. Finding some journal of the anthropogenic case. Next, Muhammad Fadli Sahda. Subbab health impact. Subbab efforts to overcome environmental problems. Number 4, final translator in this study case. Make a presentation in PowerPoint. finding some news of the anthropogenic cases. That's all of our presentation from group 7. More or less, please correct it and be forgiven. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.